Perak Mishemes, Daf Kuf Mem Tes, sponsored the Refuah Shalema for Daniel Tzvi ben Yocheved. A Shchi Meira who distributed his estate in ways other than gifting to an individual is his intention to retract it in the event he recovers. The different ways are consecration, relinquishing ownership, charity. One who consecrates his estate to Hegdish, made it available to poor people, or actually donated it to them, perhaps intends they retain their gifts even after he recovers, or perhaps his material well-being proceeds. The Gemara leaves this unresolved. The Gemara discusses different terms that represent a bequest of a Shchi Meira. Yitol, Yizake, Yachzik, V'yikne. Acquire, take possession, assume ownership, and take. Yaches, V'yeras. These are terms that mean inherit. According to Rabbi Yochanan ben Baroka, a father who bequeaths to one son at the expense of others can use these terms. Different terms, the Gemara does not resolve whether they represent a gift or only use of his estate. Yehane, benefit, or Yireh, o Yamod, be seen or stand in my property. Can he retract selling his estate? Although he sold his whole estate, he received a cash payment. On the other hand, it is unlikely one would divest himself fully, assuming he will recover. Rabbi Yehuda, in the name of Rav, holds as long as he kept the proceeds, he can purchase back what he sold. Our assumption is he saved the money in case he recovers. If he spent the money, he cannot void the sale. The Gemara discusses the law. If he admits some property he possesses does not belong to him, perhaps his intent was to conceal his wealth to protect his heirs from jealousy. Gemara concludes his admittance is accepted as truth and not to conceal his wealth. The proof. Gemara brings an incident of Isar, the convert, who deposited a large sum of money with Rava. Rab Meri was conceived while Isar's biological father was still a Gentile. Therefore, legally he was not his son. Despite this, he wanted to bequeath him his estate. Rava was in possession of the money, claiming under these circumstances, Isar had no way to transfer the money to Rab Meri. These were the options Rava rejected. Number 1, inheritance. Rab Meri was not his heir. Number 2, gift. Generally, a gift cannot be effective after death. The special dispensation for a seriously ill person must resemble in some way an inheritance that does acquire after death. Therefore, such a gift is effective only if the giver has heirs that would otherwise inherit. Number 3, Meshicha, an acquisition by taking possession of movable property. Isar was not in possession for Rab Meri to draw them into his domain. Number 4, Chalipin, an acquisition by exchanging items. As soon as one of the parties acquires, the transfer to the other is automatic. It can also be implemented with one conveying to the other a handkerchief. This type of kinyan does not work to acquire money. Number 5, a kinyan agav. This is an acquisition of movables by land. Isar did not own land. Number 6, Mamad Shloshtan. He could instruct his depositor, Rava, to convey to Rab Meri. That declaration is binding. However, Rava would not be present. Number 7, admittance. Isar was advised to admit the money belonged to Rab Meri. Rava was forced to return it to him. The Mishnah states if he retains any land, even if he recovers, his gift cannot be retracted. Rabbi Yehuda explains it means a sufficient amount of land to support himself. Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba adds the Mishnah included movable property sufficient to support himself. A question. Rabbi Yosef claims the Mishnah states even a kol shehu, any amount. He retains any amount and makes no mention of movable property. The answer. Abaye rejected the notion that whenever the Mishnah states karka, it must be understood literally. The proof. A Mishnah in Maseches Peyos states, if a master writes away all his possessions to his slave, he goes free. If he retained any amount of land, the slave is not free. Despite the fact the document states he retained land, since there is a legal comparison between slaves and land, it is assumed his intent was to retain the slave. If you're enjoying Daf 5, please click on the link below, subscribe, and become a sponsor. Thank you.